With the 11th pick in the 2018 NBA Draft, the Charlotte Hornets select Shai Gilgeous-Alexander from Hamilton, Canada, and the University of Kentucky.
Second Wildcat taken tonight as John Calipari continues to have his players make it to the draft. And Gilgeous-Alexander, as the season went on last year, emerged as the leader for Kentucky. And some believe that perhaps he was as good as Trae Young, Colin Sexton. The opportunity to have a big impact in the NBA. And now he joins a Charlotte team that made its 14th lottery pick in the last 15 seasons. What are they getting in Gilgeous-Alexander?
Well, they're getting a guy with excellent size. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is over 6'6". He's got a 7-foot wingspan. He's an excellent defender that I think shows very good toughness. He proved to be a good pick-and-roll ball handler toward the end of the season with a capable jump shot. He's a penetrating guard that can put the ball on the deck and get to the basket, and was especially good Reese's last 10 games. Over his last 10 with Kentucky, averaged over 19 points per game, shot over 50% from three and 85% from the free throw line with just under 7 assists per game. So he continued to get better and better, but with his physical profile, the fact that he can play the point, he can handle it, and he can guard multiple positions and be a disruptive defender. And he's also a high character guy. He's a great kid, a Canadian kid that came in. He was on the bench and came off the bench early behind Quade Green, and then became a starter and their best player at the end of the year.
Guys, the guy that he reminded me of coming out of college is Michael Carter-Williams. Guy with great size, played the point, was actually the Rookie of the Year in the NBA. He's fallen off a little bit, probably working on his game, but reminds me a lot of Gilgeous-Alexander.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander going to Charlotte. He's the 11th overall pick, going to Charlotte.
With the 12th pick in the 2018 NBA Draft, the LA Clippers select Miles Bridges from Michigan State University.
So Miles Bridges, the latest great basketball player to come from Flint Town, as Tom Izzo has another Spartan selected tonight, the second Michigan State player that has been picked in the lottery. Bridges left Flint Southwestern High School for Huntington Prep. His mom wanted him to go pro last year, but during his first year at Michigan State, he was alone in the basketball building, or so he thought. And some of the staff heard him walking through going, "I love this place." So he stuck around for a second year on the banks of the Old Red Cedar, had a good season, and now he's off to the NBA. Clippers selecting him, but this pick is going to Charlotte.
A powerful athlete. Miles Bridges is a lefty, super athletic, above the rim four-man. He's a wrecking ball in transition, a good shooter with his feet set. He's got an excellent shot fake and a very good rebounder, especially for his size. He excelled at Michigan State at the 4 spot, wound up with Jaren Jackson Jr. coming in this last year as a freshman, wound up moving to the 3. His rebounding is excellent at both ends of the floor. A very good offensive rebounder, a very good defensive rebounder. Averages over 8 rebounds per game for his career, and he can get up over people. But his strength is as a finisher because he is such a great athlete. Maybe the best dunker in this draft. A solid defender, and can defend bigger people, can defend on the perimeter, and zero ego. Another great kid in this draft.
Reminds me of a guy I competed against for a long time, the Matrix, Sean Marion. Get off the floor really quick, but I love, like you said, I love his size. Combination of size, quickness, athleticism, and power. Competes on both ends, unafraid of contact. I love what he's going to be able to do, and I don't know where he's going to be. If it's going to be the Hornets or it's going to be the Clippers, but whoever it is going to love coaching this kid.
With the 13th pick in the 2018 NBA Draft, the LA Clippers select Jerome Robinson from Boston College.
Jerome Robinson, the high-scoring BC Eagle, is the first Boston College player ever taken in the lottery. Lottery started in 1985, and he is on his way to the Clippers after having just a sensational season. First team all-conference performer in the ACC. Grew up in Raleigh, a fan of the Tar Heels, and then spent his career bedeviling not only the Tar Heels, but pretty much everybody in the ACC, Jay.
Jerome Robinson, it may be the most complete offensive player in this NBA draft. He's a versatile scorer, very quick with the ball. He's got a high release on his jumper, and he's got a good mid-range game. He can shoot it from three, and he's very good off the bounce. Another guy that's got an excellent shot fake to keep defenders off balance, and he's a very good pick-and-roll ball handler. Now, he's got to improve as a defender. He doesn't have the greatest lateral quickness, but he should be a very good player at the NBA level in time. Offensively, he's really special. 91st percentile in the half court. He was second in the ACC in scoring. Just got a great feel and just automatic pulling up off the dribble. An excellent offensive player and a great kid.
Jerome Robinson, 13th overall to the Los Angeles Clippers.
With the 14th pick in the 2018 NBA Draft, the Denver Nuggets select Michael Porter Jr. from the University of Missouri.
All smiles now, because once you're selected, the goal is just to produce. He'll have that opportunity, and we hope certainly that he's at full health. As you probably know, lower back surgery in late November. At that time, prior to the surgery, he was listed by our Jonathan Givony as the second overall pick. Didn't win in either game when he came back at the end of the season, as Missouri was beaten in the SEC tournament by Georgia and then lost the first game of the NCAA tournament. But Michael Porter Jr., an immense talent, and now Denver at 14, figure he might as well spin that wheel of fortune.
Well, I do think we're right in saying that he has the ability on the offensive end of a #1 overall pick. He's a very gifted athlete, very fluid at 6'10" with a 7-foot wingspan, and very skilled. But where he really excels is shooting the basketball. A very high release. He can elevate on his shot. He picks and pops to three-point range. He does have the ability to defend with his wingspan and athleticism. There have been questions about his toughness. Obviously, at 14, you're never going to get a player of this caliber unless there are question marks, and the question mark being his back and his health long term. But if the Nuggets have satisfied themselves that that's not a problem, they very well could have gotten a steal here.
Now listen, guys, I'm going to assume that he's healthy, and if he is, he reminds me of a young Kevin Durant. I mean, great length, beautiful jump shot, can score off of the dribble. You put him in the mid-post area or the elbow area, he's a nightmare to guard, and he has a passion to score the basketball, similar to KD.
Boy, you just had to really give it to those poor fans in Seattle by showing KD in the Seattle uniform, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We have another trade to announce. The Charlotte Hornets trade the draft rights to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the 11th pick, to the LA Clippers for the draft rights to Miles Bridges, the 12th pick, and 2 future second-round picks. And with the 15th pick in the 2018 NBA Draft, the Washington Wizards select Troy Brown Jr. from the University of Oregon.
Troy Brown, not here tonight, but an all-freshman team honorable mention player in the Pac-12 this past season, JB.
Troy Brown Jr. is another guy who is long arms, 6'10" and a half wingspan. He's really versatile. He can do it all. He knows how to play, a very good skill level. He passes it well. More of a right-hand driver that's pretty good in pick and rolls. He improved his shooting throughout the course of the season under Dana Altman, and a solid defender. I wouldn't call him super athletic on the NBA level, but a good athlete. And he needs to improve his efficiency, but his versatility is really his calling card. He does everything pretty well.
To me, he reminds me a lot of Andre Iguodala, Swiss Army knife. Can do it all out there. Is not going to be a high-volume shooter. Will defend, will make other guys better. I think this is a very good pickup for this team.
Troy Brown Jr. played point guard until his senior year in high school, had a growth spurt, got to improve that shooting, but certainly a coveted player and 15th overall pick by the Wizards.
With the 16th pick in the 2018 NBA Draft, the Phoenix Suns select Zaire Smith from Texas Tech University.
Wow. Wow.
Defensive player.
Okay, you see DeAndre nodding. Zaire Smith is a very explosive player out of Texas Tech, but we are hearing that this pick is going to move from Phoenix and go to Philadelphia with the 76ers. That's what we're hearing right now. Let's check in with Woj. Woj, you have some details on this?
Guys, Philadelphia has traded the rights of Mikal Bridges to the Phoenix Suns for Zaire Smith, who's the 16th pick in the draft. The Suns will also send a 2021 first-round pick that they have from the Miami Heat to Philadelphia. So Mikal Bridges, who grew up dreaming of playing for the Suns now.
All right, Woj, so after that feel-good moment, it seemed, Mikal Bridges apparently on his way to Phoenix. Take a look at Mountain Dew Kickstart Rising Star Zaire Smith out of Texas Tech.
You know, Zaire Smith was not a highly recruited player. He wasn't a top 50 guy, but he is a world-class athlete. He's 6'4", 6'5". He's got a near 6'10" wingspan. He's got a 42-inch vertical and really stands out as a defender. An excellent offensive rebounder. You ask any coach in the Big 12, and they will tell you best athlete in the league by far and the most difficult to block out, and a really hard-working young man.
Now here's a guy who I compare him to, Avery Bradley. You talk about defensive pressure, picking up the golf ball full court, turn the guy 2 or 3 times, but being able to make athletic plays on the other end of the floor too, and having a good mid-range jump shot.
Okay, so Zaire Smith, drafted by the Suns, apparently on his way to Philadelphia.
With the 17th pick in the 2018 NBA Draft, the Milwaukee Bucks select Dante DiVincenzo from Villanova University.
The most outstanding player of the Final Four of the national champions of J-Wright, Dante DiVincenzo, sophomore guard from Villanova, had 31 points in the championship game. No one from a winning team had had more since the field expanded. Danny Manning put up 31. Glenn Rice put up 31, just as DiVincenzo did. They call him the Big Ragu, and he is a big leaper in addition to being a tremendous shooter. As we take a look at one of the Mountain Dew Kickstart Rising Stars, they call him the Michael Jordan of Delaware, right, Billis? Dante DiVincenzo.
Well, they should call him the Michael Jordan of Delaware. You mentioned how he can jump, a 42-inch vertical measured at the combine. And the combine was where he really popped and really stood out. In addition to that, tremendous performance in the NCAA title game against Michigan. Dante DiVincenzo averaged 13 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists for Villanova last year. He shot over 40% from three-point range as a sixth man, coming off the bench and filling in wherever it was necessary. He's got a very good mind for the game. He is terrifically athletic, solid in pick and roll situations, and he can shoot it. Catch and shoot or pull up. And we've seen him rise to the occasion in the biggest games and on the biggest stages. But I thought where he showed his competitiveness was at the combine. Had a great first day when a lot of people said, hey, you need to shut it down, don't play the second day. He said, no, I'm playing. I came here to play, I'm playing. Played even better the second day.
First of all, guys, I think this is a great pick by the Bucks. It's something that they need, but he reminds me of a guy that I played against at the end of my career a little bit, and that is Tyler Johnson. Gets up off of the floor, very athletic, can defend, plays really hard every single game. I'm very, very impressed with this pick because I think they need it.
With the 18th pick in the 2018 NBA Draft, the San Antonio Spurs select Lonnie Walker IV from the University of Miami.
Lonnie Walker IV on his way to San Antonio. You see the embrace with his dad, Lonnie's dad, when he was a kid, made him read for an hour every day before he could go out and play. This is a guy with a lot of interest, loves the Discovery Channel and Animal Planet. And when Jim Larrañaga was recruiting him, as you see him hugging Jim Larrañaga there, sometimes they would talk about why Jaguars were able to catch ostriches when they should have been able to. It wasn't always basketball with Lonnie. I did several of his games. Really engaging young man and a terrific athlete and player. And he showed some of that athleticism, particularly after he got healthy. Time for looking ahead with Lonnie Walker here, Jay.
And you mentioned how he got healthy. Last summer, Lonnie Walker tore his meniscus, and then he tweaked it again this last year at Miami. But he's an elite athlete with elite length. A little bit of a streaky shooter, but hit 3 or 4 game winners this year for the Hurricanes, especially toward the end of the year. He's got a ton of potential. Shoots 35% from 3, knocks down 75% of his free throws, so he can make shots. I think he needs to improve his handle and his consistency. But you mentioned it, Reese. He's a terrific kid. But he's got an NBA body. He's got form on his jumper. The question is his defense and his handle. If he improves there, he could be a steal in this draft in San Antonio.
Jay, he reminds me of a young D. Wade. I mean, excellent, solid body, strength, has an unbelievable set of God-given tools. Can score at all 3 levels on the basketball court, and he has potential to develop into a wing defender with that athleticism.
With the 19th pick in the 2018 NBA Draft, the Atlanta Hawks select Kevin Huerter from the University of Maryland.
They like to call Kevin Huerter the Red Mamba, a sharp shooter who played point guard growing up, Jay.
Kevin Huerter put his name into the draft to quote-unquote test the waters. And the water must have felt awfully good for Huerter because he is picked in the top 20 in the draft. He is an NBA-level shooter. He's got an excellent stroke, shot 42% from 3. He may have the best footwork of any shooter in the draft. Very good off screens and good in transition. He's a good player.
I really like him. Reminds me a lot of Mike Miller, the younger Mike Miller, I might add, in Orlando. Very athletic. Can put the ball on the floor. Beautiful jump shot. I mean, can really shoot it, and good vision, and can pass the basketball. I think he was going to be a still underrated player. I'm looking forward to seeing his development.
Kevin Huerter going to the Hawks.
We have another trade to announce. The Philadelphia 76ers trade the draft rights to Mikal Bridges, the 10th pick, to the Phoenix Suns for the draft rights to Zaire Smith, the 16th pick, and a future first-round pick. And with the 20th pick in the 2018 NBA Draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves select Josh Okogie from Georgia Tech.
One of the guys that Bill has said could be a potential pick is how does he fit in terms of the way he plays with a Tom Thibodeau style of team, Jay?
Well, he can guard people. He's got a 7-foot wingspan. He's got gigantic hands, and he's aggressive. He's got a good motor. I think his initial impact is going to be as a defender, which you know Tom Thibodeau would absolutely love. He's going to have to refine his shot. He's very raw on the offensive end, and he's going to have to improve his handle. But he's got an attack mentality and just a great motor. He plays his tail off all the time.
Josh Okogie, the 20th pick.